Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and let's just make sure I'm not talking to myself. I think right, there's some audio there. Well, I'm not sure whether I should be streaming the YouTube channel. I'm not 100% certain whether that's going to where it should do. Did have some problems there, so when we get round to Ed, he'll correct me on what I did wrong. I tested it during the week, and everything seemed fine. But for some reason the numbers had changed, so maybe I clicked on the wrong thing. I don't know. You just can't get the staff down, but can do better, hopefully. Um, yeah, so that's talking about the stream, which may or may not be working. Um, I'm not going to be around next week to actually to run the net, but I'll be around to stream it if I've got it working by then. That's if it's not working now, because it's the British Grand Prix. And I must admit that's going to take priority over running the net. So advance warning, I won't be around to actually run it, but I will stream it if I've managed it this week, or if I haven't, I'll work out how to do it. I've made alterations this end because to make life easier for me, I thought, let's go to some pictures, images, right. That's roughly how my SRT repeater works, which four receivers, the quad unit, etc. But the HDMI feeds through into the PC. So we thought, right, make life easy. We've now added in a switch, so I can now switch the ride receiver in to the PC, the laptop, to do the streaming. So the repeater's off air, and that's what I did this morning. So I thought I knew I'd test it during the week, and all looked okay. So I just had to hit the button, log in, and away we go. Of course, it didn't work, but anyway, hopefully we'll find out about that. Now I did have because I was having cooling problems. Rob VK3IE sent me some suggestions of what I could do if things were overheating. Well, it made me laugh anyway. But I expect Ed's got probably something much better than that. Let's come back to there. It's the SAQ, the VLF from Sweden there. It's the 100th anniversary for those that are capable of tuning around on 17.2. So that'll be on Tuesday testing and Wednesday. I click on that one and get rid of that over there. Go to the screen. That's the wrong screen. It's going to be one of those this week. Nothing's going to go right. That's the schedule for SAQ. It's the mechanical transmitter. Well worth watching it on YouTube if you don't, because they'll stream it live on YouTube to do. And my receiver aerials, there it goes. A bit of home construction. Not very exciting, but that's it. Sitting up on the top. That's fed through to my SDR. I've got channel 4 on there. We don't want that, do we? Let's go back to the camera. Anyway, that's enough chaos for this so far. I didn't look at how many on the net. I think there was only. Go and have a quick look. Yes, it's going to be a quick net today, which may be time to sort things out. Anyway, so over to you there, Leon. I know you were testing earlier because I saw some good pictures from you, but I don't know why things go wrong for me. It must be something. Anyway, a test card and it's all yours.
Okay, Martin. For a moment I thought you weren't going to drop the carrier. The test card stayed on so long. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those watching and streaming and listening. CZ1 Mike from Worcester. Okay. I'm quite busy. You can hear the fans in the background. Whee! That's all the turbine fans and things. It's outside in my storeroom where the amplifier is, but I've got all the doors open because I've got all the new racking, the shelving in there, and we've just painted the floor yesterday. So I'm leaving the door open so that the stuff can vent and dry quicker. It's dry now, but we still want to put a second coat on tomorrow. So that's why you can hear the fans howling there in the background. Also, Ed, you know this one pretty well. Those little amplifiers, lovely. This is the 2.4 gig one. You also get the 1.2 gig one, but that's got two separate devices. This is the 2.4 gig one has got this block, but they run very, very hot. As somebody commented, was it last weekend, I think, or was it on the British Net on Thursday? They run horrifyingly hot. So I thought, well, I'm going to play around with it and see if I can improve on it. And I did last night. Over there is a little chip, LM1. That's the bias regulator. It gives out 2.7 something volts. And then it's got two resistors there. And it's got a cap there, which I've now got a resistor in parallel of the cap. And there's the third resistor. Those are the bias resistors for the three stages inside this chip. But they're all 0 ohms. If you look at the specs of the chip, there should actually be resistors in there, depending on what mode of biasing you want it to be. Now this thing must be very close to mode A or class A. I want to use it for FM, so I want it to be as close as possible to class C, but still have some decent gain. So you can get 2 watts out of it, like they say there, but in the chip specs they warn you, if for continuous CW use, do not exceed 1 watt. But even at 1 watt, it gets very hot. So I changed the bias. First I put a pot in there. I cut the track there, the output of the little regulator. It looks like a transistor, one of those AMD transistors, but it's actually a 2.7 volt regulator. And I put a pot in there, feeding, that's just the cap there. And I played around with it. The idling current, at 24 volts input, the idling current was about 270 milliamps. That's just idling, no RF input. Well, I brought it down to 15 milliamps. And then I added the RF. You need a little bit more drive. And I kept the drive so that the output is about 1.5 watts now. And at 1.5 watts, it draws 290 milliamps now, which is a vast improvement, and it runs just lukewarm. So there I removed the pot and I put a chip resistor over there. That's 220 ohms, and that one there on its side is 18 ohms. That's the series one, and that's the parallel one. So it's a potential divider I made there, and it works beautifully. It will definitely not go into thermal runaway. It's still got enough gain for what I want to use it. And I get 1.5 watts out, which is still more than they specify for CW, but seeing that it's now biased lower, it runs much cooler. So that's my experiment with these goggaatjies for now. Um, so Ed, you can keep that in mind if you play with them again. It's a very very fine little track that you've got to cut there. Just on the output leg of the regulator, just cut it off, and then you make your little potential divider. I tried just a series resistor, but I don't want to make the impedance too high. Bias networks don't like high impedance supplies, so I thought no, rather make it a potential divider. The pot I had in there was 200 ohms, and I could see that it was almost hard over to the one end. The one end was 16.3 ohms, and the other end was 198 ohms or something. Or what? No, one, yeah, but just over 190. So I thought, no. I've got nice 18 ohm resistors. So I took a 18 ohm, and just on its own, no, it was still 270 milliamps idling current. Then I started playing with 8-watt resistors first, just to trim it down to where I wanted. When I found it, yeah, 220 ohm was just nice. So I picked a 220 ohm SMD and put it in there, and Bob's your uncle. It's running lacquer. Okay, that's it from me. It's a nice sunny day. Outside in the sun is nice and warm, but inside it's quite cool. So Ed, over to you. PY2 Romeo November for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Very well. Hi, Martin. Hello, Leon. Nice to see you guys. Hope everything okay. Not sure if my audio is okay. I think it's better now without the music. Yeah, very short net today. Not too many participants. But anyways, glad to see you all. It's a few weeks that I couldn't join, and I'm joining today. I got a virus. I don't know if it was H1N1 or whatever. It was not COVID. I did the test, but it makes me like I'm like 1 month feeling bad, sneezing and coughing and cough and stuff like that. I still don't feel normal. I don't know what's that's flu virus. Maybe a new one, new model. But other than that, it's okay. Martin, well, I didn't start the streaming as well because, as I said to you before, it's a little complicated for me to stream. I need to start at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes before because I need to prepare OBS, the Raspberry Pi, and all the stuff to get into YouTube. So I was expecting for your streaming, but it never came up. Not sure why. but maybe you can test later. Leon, thanks for the advice on this little preamp. Very interesting. I'm particularly interested on this preamp for 1.2 gigahertz. 1.2 gigahertz. I didn't get any yet, but I intend to get one later on. For 2.4, I don't reinvent the wheel. I mean, I'm very happy with this little yellow one. It's kind of bulletproof. If you don't, it gets hot as well. It gets very, very hot. That's the reason I put heat sinks on the top, on the bottom. It really gets very hot as well. But it's kind of bulletproof. I mean, it works all the way, and you cannot just switch input with output. You cannot switch that. If you confuse, that's the reason I have an I and O. I don't know if you can see the camera gonna focus, but I have an I and O just to remember me every time that I'm gonna put the cables that I don't invert input with output, because if you do and you transmit on that, it will die. Instantaneously it will die. That's one of the thing, and the other obviously is inverting polarity. It's 5 volts. If you invert polarity, obviously it will die instantaneously. Maybe you can replace if you invert in polarity, maybe you can replace the regulator, but I never bother. Anyways, but your solution on that green one is nice to know, because I said I intend to get one for 1.2 gigahertz. My side here, I've been working during this week, making a type of work that I am not very, how can I say, I'm not very good on those. It's antenna hardware. It's antenna hardware. Very complicated. As you can see, there is a loop Yagi in my back. It's loop Yagi for 23 centimeters, 1.2 gig. And the boom of that Yagi came prepared for horizontal polarization. It came, for this position, which is horizontal polarization. And I need it to be vertical polarization. That's the position for vertical polarization. And that, I scratched my head and thinking and trying to find some material that I have here without having to buy everything. And I made this piece of hardware. So the boom I'm gonna attach here, and here is gonna be the the rotor boom, because my rotor has elevation and azimuth, so I have a horizontal boom on the rotator, and that's gonna sit there. I made 2 of these because I have 2 loop Yagi, so I plan to stack them. It seems very simple, right? But it's not. Making all the holes, finding the screws, the nuts. It's not easy. It took me a lot of time, several days, to complete this, and I just completed this morning. But I think that's it from my side of the not much news. Many people went to the Friedrichshafen. I saw some, mostly people from the narrowband, from the SSB. I didn't see any picture from the DATV. I was there in Friedrichshafen last year, and I don't remember seeing any known face from DATV here. I think people prefer to stay at home. All right. if nobody else on the list, no. So back to you, Martin. Golf 8, Kilo Oscar Echo from Papa Yankee to Romeo November.
Yeah, okay. I think we've got it.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the reason I couldn't switch off for you there, Leon, is that I'm running DATV Red, and if you've been transmitting for 10 minutes, it comes up and gives you a warning box. But you have to close the warning box down before you can switch things off, and I don't always see that it's there. Now, I'm probably streaming to the correct place. In fact, I'm streaming to both places, I think, at the moment on YouTube. I found the schoolboy error, really, because I've got my own YouTube account. I didn't switch accounts before trying to set the stream up, so I was setting it up on my. Oh dear, I won't do that again. I need an idiot checklist. It's simple now to actually set things up, or it should be. But it says going over to the other camera. Oh, I've lost my mouse. Where's my mouse gone? There it is. It's over there on the wrong screen. Right. We installed this little box so that I can just hit the button on the top and switch between the output from my quad unit over there or from the ride receiver that's sitting over here effectively, and it's always running. It's the ride receiver's actually down there on the there. So that's always running. So now hopefully, although it says the bandwidth is a bit low, it says you're there, but hopefully it is working. But it's being streamed at the moment from over here, which is streaming both. I just added an extra stream in. Oops, it says keeping away from things. Anyway, that's the chaotic sort of side of things here. Let's go back to the my camera. Oh no, I clicked on the wrong thing again. Do you know what? It's just too much for me, I think. And not so good you've not been well there, Ed. I think the only thing I ever got which knocked me out totally for months and months was glandular fever. But touch wood, I didn't get COVID. I kept away from everybody. I know Martin, G4FKK, couldn't do the BATC net because he's well and truly not well with COVID. So, yeah, I'd be interested whether you're actually getting anything from the YouTube stream. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't understand it because the number had changed, but I didn't. The eyes aren't as good as they used to be, and I hadn't seen that I was on the wrong account. I wondered why it said the text wasn't right. Anyway, so it certainly is streaming to my site, and I think it's streaming to the proper one as well. So I'll correct that for next week, and I won't make the same mistakes. I know what to check. And I'd left it a bit late because I thought everything was prepared, so I thought I'd just key it up sort of 10 minutes before. But I think I probably should have keyed it up a lot before because one can always edit it out. So I don't know what time you'd normally start it up, but I'm quite happy to start it at past and let it go. So I was looking at the because you were still waving your little preamp side of things, which was confusing me totally. Looking at the stream side of things, it says it's a bit low. I suppose it's because I'm streaming to two YouTube's places. But anyway, we shall see. You'll be able to tell me on that. And those boards, those little amp boards that you were using there, Leon, I have used them. I think I've got one or two kicking around, and yes, they did get warm. I think I did blow one up at some stage, but I don't remember 100%. But yeah, right. I don't know what else I could really. Oh yeah, OBS. OBS I did an update. It's now 31.0.4. And it didn't give me any problems. But that's it. I did write a note down. Yep, can't think of anything else. Right, we'll try and pass it over quicker this time. So I don't think the little nag screens come up. So it's going to be over to you there, Leon.
Okay, Martin. JKOE in the group said he's swimming right back. Yeah, okay. There's something about your stuff that I wanted to comment on, and now I've forgotten it again. Yeah, didn't make any notes. I've got space for notes, but yeah. Okay, your chart with all your switchology and stuff. That's way above me. Oh yeah, why did you update OBS? I mean, if it works, leave it. Why update it? Unless it's going to give you a better quality picture. That's the only thing I go for. If it gives me a better quality picture, I don't need any more functions. My sync never goes out, so that part of it works. I can have more than one camera. That part of it works. So what more do I want? Anyway. Yeah, Gary said, I haven't heard from him this week, but last week he was said they're sending the motherboard and the drive, the solid state drive, back to Cape Town. I'm surprised that it comes from Cape Town because they reckon there must be something wrong with that motherboard or the processor or something, because it's the hottest computer you can get, and it's got a lot of tiling, he says. Okay, I like your cartoon, Ed. That was a nice one. No, it's a 6-volt battery. I see. Only 3 little proppies there. It must be a very old car, DKW or an old Beetle or something. Yes, the mechanical transmitter. Yeah, I've never been able to receive that. I've tried. I've got a big receiver, general coverage, with a separate tuner for the very low bands. It starts at, I think, 7 or 8 kcs, and then it goes up to, I think, well, it's got different bands in that VLF range. It's a Telefunken receiver. It's big and heavy, but it can run off 24 volts DC. So I took a battery, 2 batteries, down to the airfield where it's quiet 1 year, and had my active antenna. But no, I can get all sorts of other things, those submarine things and so on, I can get, but SAQ, no. I think we are just too far, gee whiz, we're way in the southern hemisphere, and that thing is way up in the northern hemisphere. I don't know if anybody ever received it in the southern hemisphere. But I'd love to be able to receive it and send them a QSL. But yeah. Fascinating thing. I think you put that video on at some stage, Ed. I actually recorded that and showed it to an old ham friend of mine. I think he's in his 90s now, but I showed it on the big TV inside, and he was absolutely thrilled, because he's a real old timer, from the Valve era. And I said to him, well, this is before the Valve era. This is mechanical. He's an electrical engineer, so he knows generators and alternators and things. So yeah, he was absolutely thrilled when I showed him that. Okay, otherwise not much. I'm busy on various projects. My main concern is to get my chemical store finished. So it's just the floor that must dry out now, and the final coat. Shelves are all there, and everything is ready. Otherwise, then I'm gonna start packing, emptying my new mechanical workshop, because that's now full of boxes and stuff. But I've thrown away a lot of stuff. Anyway, and then I'm also working on some 10 gig stuff for the Air Force, for some experiments they want to do there. Yes, doing all sorts of things there. I was playing with that earlier today, and so on. So, okay, nothing else from this side. I'll say cheers and beers. Gee whiz, a net in half an hour. Not good, not good. Okay, Ed, over to you. PY2RN for the group from ZS1 Mike saying cheers. Unless somebody wants to know something, I'll be standing by. I'll come back if there's something I must answer on. Oh, by the way, was it you? No, Martin. Somebody said they wanted to know, was you, Ed, want to use this for 1.2 gig. Now the 1.2 gig amp is different. It doesn't have this. Let me get the camera on. The 1.2 gig version does not have this single chip. It's got the same power supply. That's why I prefer to use this one, because this gets used in aircraft as well, and aircraft bus is 24 volts. And my first version of the transmitter that I built for them is I used linear regulators, and that gets very hot. So we're trying to get away from the heat. That's why I picked this one with the onboard switch mode regulator, which is fantastic. But now the freaking RF chip gets so hot. Okay, we've solved that now. But the 23 centimeter one doesn't have this chip. It's got two devices in cascade. It's just little three-legged things. They look like voltage regulators. Now I don't know how their biasing network works, but you can have a look at that. If it's also got a little regulated chip there for the bias in the corner or something. I know it's got the same power supply. This one is 8 to 30 volts input, and it gives out 6 volts, because this chip runs on 6 volts, not 5 volts. Anyway, so yeah, I mean this amplifier definitely won't work at 23 centimeters. It clearly says 2.4 gigs. I was running it at 2.2 gigs today and was still running perfectly. Full 2 watts with the old bias, but with the new bias 1.5 watt, which is fine. Anything above 1 watt is more than enough for what we want to do. Okay, get this off. Ed, over to you. PY2RN for the group, ZS1MM.
That Zulu Sierra 1 Mike Papa Yankee 2 Radio November with Golf 8 Kilo Oscar Echo. Just starting with Martin. Yes, I see the YouTube streaming working fine, Martin. That's fine. Glad that you found the issue, and it's working fine. Not a problem. Very, very well. Let me know if next week you can stream. If not, I will do the same. I will stream, not a problem. Usually I start, 5, 10, between 10 and 5 minutes earlier, just because, you have to open the streaming, the management page on YouTube and start OBS to stream, and it takes few seconds, I think about 30 seconds or so to start appearing the image there. And then as soon as the image starts, it's fine. You can close it, and that's all. But that's it. Very, very good. Leon, I forgot to report this to you in the first transmission, but you may have a problem with your PC. Your audio is making little noise. It's like it's very characteristic of buffering audio, buffering problem. When you're talking and suddenly comes a noise like and even it's affecting even your image. Sometimes your image gets a very quick freeze. I'm not sure if you're running any other process on your PC that you're running OBS, but looks like you're using OBS to transmit your audio and video, and in parallel you're running, I don't know, some database update or Windows update or even an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, it seems that the PC is overloaded and it's causing these buffering problems on your audio and as well as on your image. But very quick. It's not continuous. It's very sporadic. Okay, so not big deal. But just like to inform you about that. Okay, about the video and the difference between the 2.4 and 1.2 gigahertz amplifier. I found a long time, so maybe a year or two back, I found a very nice amplifier from the Chinese people that puts out 18 watts on 1.2 gigahertz, and just exciting that with the Pluto. Just the Pluto, no preamp necessary. And you just put the Pluto on the input and it will give you full 18 watts, 18 watts. That's one of the projects that I'm also working to work with these loop Yagis. So Pluto gonna be my transceiver for 1.2 gigahertz, 23 centimeters. That's project number one. Project number two is to put up a beacon, say about 50 kilometers far from here. The beacon we're gonna run probably this green board there. I mean, if I can get 1 watt from this board, it's gonna be okay for the beacon. It's gonna be CW, and that's the project here. For 1.2 gigahertz. Not much activity on 1.2 gigahertz on this area. The past few months, some people get interested on making contacts on 1.2 gigahertz, but very limited, about 6 to 10 people only. Okay, but anyways, I'm mostly interested on propagation, on equipment, antenna testing, and stuff like that, other than making QSO. So it's not a big deal. I can have fun myself. I don't need anyone else. All right, guys. Thank you very much for the net, a short one. I hope you have a great week, and see you guys next weekend, hopefully. 73. So back to you, Martin. Golf 8 Kilo Oscar Echo from Papa Yankee 2 Romeo November.
Yeah, okay there, Ed. I think we've got it. Yeah, okay. Yep, we've got it. Yeah, I know I can stream, no problem at all. It's just that I normally have to watch the highlights of the race because I don't have a subscription to the Formula One. But when they do the British Grand Prix, they actually show the whole thing live. So it will then clash. So it's one time that the net goes out, but no, I can set it up, and it would have been a piece of cake if in fact it was very quick for me to start it going, but I was sending it to me, not to the right place. But I'll edit the various bits and pieces, get it correct. So I've done it all, got it correctly. But when I log on to YouTube, I need to make sure I'm looking at the right account. Basically, I hadn't switched accounts, so I was just still on my account. Oh, so simple, really. And yeah, I was getting that funny out of the noise. I thought it was on SpeechPeaks there. I wasn't going to mention it because I thought it might be something at this end because I've been having lots of problems. And yeah, fine on your little joke there, Ed. And good to talk. As you know how to contact me now. That was very interesting. The different ways that one looks at things. So I look at the wideband chat, the QL100, the BATC side of things. That's where I look. Yeah, that's why I don't see some things. Anyway, I'll close the net, and I'll try and do better on the streaming next week. We did get there. I was panicking or something. I thought, wait a minute, I had to change the code, and then when I realised it was streaming, it seemed to be working. Then I realised it was streaming to me, and I had to set up a second stream, which there is a little app that you can add into OBS. Going over to the second camera. Come on, click on the right. Don't want that text, we want the camera. That's it. That little one there. And it just duplicates your main stream. So you can just add as many streams as you like. So all I had to do was to click on that and just enter, copy and paste the two bits of information for the worldwide stream as opposed to my site, which is where it's streaming through on the main thing. But anyway, I can thoroughly recommend that little app. It's written by a Chinese guy, but luckily it's in English, and it's as easy to start and stop streams. So it gives you all the information. So, and I like updating things, just because I do. All my things are relatively up to date. It's part of the fun. Keep things going. But right, I have a feeling you're going to come back, Ed. But I'm going to say, some please, I'll close the worldwide net and leave it open for all those that want to continue it. I don't think anybody else has joined, have they? It says it's having a quick look to see. Come on, why isn't that opening up? This one to be slow. I can click on that one. No, it's just the three of us. Okay. So I'll put a test card and disappear. G8KE.
Okay. Okay, firstly, no, somebody came up on top of me now. Okay. Okay. Ed, I'm using two computers. That one is transmit only. It's not connected to the internet. There's nothing else on it. It only does transmitting. It never gets updated. That's why the sync stays on. Okay, I know. I just want to now, but I normally watch there. Now this is my receiving screen here with a receiving computer. I don't see anything there out of the ordinary, and I've got the audio on low so it doesn't cause feedback. Martin had a couple of freezes. I can see the fan in the background there next to him. It just stops. Ah, there are the prr on me now, yeah, on the audio. I get that. I could hear it on the audio. I get that when I start up the computer, I must leave it for say 30 seconds before I start opening the pages, and I was a bit quick today. If I'm too quick on it, I get little artifacts like that. But yeah, there it does it again. There's absolutely nothing else running in this computer. Unless I'm also overdriving the audio, I can turn down the audio a bit, but it doesn't sound like it's clipping. But anyway, thanks for letting me know, Ed, because I normally don't watch myself, and I also don't listen to myself because of the feedback issue. I mute the audio when I'm transmitting. Anyway, okay. This is ZS1 Moon Mechanic now signing off and saying 73s. Okay. This is ZS1 Moon Mechanic.
Yes, Leon, there is nothing to do with your audio level. Your audio level is okay. Quality is okay. Problem is digital. Problem is digital. Something, if you don't have any other process running on the PC, maybe it's a network problem, whatever. But yeah, on this last transmission from you, I could see, I could realize a few times the brr. And I even retuned your signal here in my reception. I say, well, maybe that's the problem with my reception. You know, a little out of frequency or something. But no, it's originated there. No big deal. Okay, just for inform you. For Martin, I do have the same how do you call plugin to stream to several platforms. Yeah, I would show you, but it's complicated. Yeah, right here. Yeah, I have I do have a few accounts for YouTube and one account for Facebook. But the fact is, before you start the plugin, you cannot start that at the beginning. You must start the original streaming from OBS. You must start the original on OBS. Otherwise, if you start here on the plugin, it will complain that the encoders are not loaded or something like that. So you must start here beforehand. That's the only thing. I think that's it. Thank you, guys. See you next week. Martin will not be here, so I'm gonna miss you, but hope you enjoy your time off off the net. 73 Papa Yankee 2 Radio November.
Okay, Ed, I have restarted the programs. I didn't shut down the PC. I just closed all the things. And opened it again. The OBS and the what is it? Free Streamer and the Pluto. So it doesn't seem to do it now, but yeah. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on it next. But I know if I'm too quick on it, it does funny things. Okay, cheers everybody. It is one mic is clear.
Everything okay now? At least I didn't notice anything different. It's normal like always. Your usual transmission, Leon. I think the reset solved the issue. 73. I actually I also mute myself when I transmit. I don't even know if I'm sync. Yeah, it seems sync is not perfect, but it's not bad. 73.